We need to have an honest conversation. A lot of you that are on dating apps shouldn't be on dating apps. You shouldn't be using dating apps. Matter of fact, after this video ends, you should probably go ahead and delete the dating apps that are on your phone. Why do I say this? Well, this is because of something that I honestly needed to get off my chest. A lot of people have been rightfully complaining that they're annoyed that the modern dating scene is ruled by basically apps. If you want to meet somebody, you just use a dating app, right? And that seems to be the main way to do it these days. And I can agree because it's not a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody. But I feel like a lot of the criticism that dating apps receive is a little misguided. Sure, the glitches are annoying and the app developers are greedy, but one thing that's kind of being overlooked is just how bad people are at communicating. And it's not even funny when I say that these days people are literally using AI to respond to their friends and loved ones' text messages because they don't know how to respond. Like, people are losing the basic skill of human communication. It's crazy that we're now relying on technology to tell us what to say. And so you may be wondering, how does this tie into dating apps? Well, it does entirely. You have people that literally don't know how to start a conversation. You have people that don't know how to say things beyond, hey, what's up? How are you? Good, cool, bye. This is what we've become. And so no dating app can fix that. If the user base is already tainted with terrible communication skills, a lack of self-awareness, and reading the room, how are you possibly going to find somebody? And a lot of people that are on these dating apps, they don't need dating apps. They don't need to find love. They need communication classes. They need to take a communication class or two and learn about how to actually approach people and talk to people. Like, it should not be this difficult. Also, I just feel like a lot of people these days on dating apps are just plain old time wasters. They just want to feel validated, complimented, and feel wanted or desired. And sure, who doesn't, right? But when you're wasting people's time and leading people on and making them believe that you're actually there for a serious connection or friendship, you are pretty much an a-hole. And it's really annoying because it seems like these days, more than ever, people are just wanting to flex and flaunt their Instagram lifestyles instead of actually trying to find deep-rooted connections. And that really annoys me because, like, everything now just feels like a storefront. Like, everybody is just promoting themselves. Everybody is just advertising themselves. They're not actually trying to look for a connection. They just want to receive compliments and messages and follows on Instagram and be told that they're hot or whatever, they're cute or whatever, and just get all of that capital from people just to be able to tell their ego, hey, I'm actually hot. Now I know that I can get anyone I want and I only want the best of the best, which is going to make me in turn miserable because I'm always going to be looking for the next best thing for the hottest person. And, you know, those people are never going to be happy because if you need a dating app and strangers in your inbox telling you how hot you are, you're already insecure inside, and no dating app is going to fix that. No selfie you take is going to fix that. And so someone like me that uses dating apps a lot, I notice that people these days, more than ever, are just using them to just fan themselves. They're not there for actual connections. They're just there to see if you'll fall for their bait and actually message them only to be left on seen, left on read, or just be given short responses. And they're just doing this to a lot of people. They're not actually there to meet anybody. They're just there to waste your time. And don't even get me started with the amount of scammers and people asking for money there and all these other sorts of things. But now more than ever, people are just so terrible at actually directly communicating what it is they want. And it's truly sad. And this is why so many people are struggling to meet people online or through these dating apps, because so many people just have lost the ability to communicate with each other or are just there to lead people on and waste people's time. And honestly, if you're watching this video and you're one of the few people that actually tries to use those apps to meet people and find organic connections or deep-rooted connections, bless you. You have my sympathies and I empathize with you because I've been there before. And trust me when I say most people either don't respond, give half-assed answers, or are just there to receive, you know, compliments and like other things to boost their own egos. Like, it's just become so vain. It feels like people now more than ever are just there to fan themselves and laud themselves and be like, hey, look at me, look at how hot I am, look at all that I've accomplished, look at the places I've been, look at the friends I have, instead of actually approaching this from an angle where it's like, hey, I'm just somebody that's looking for some nice, real, authentic connections. Like, what's happened to that? I don't know if these people get thrills out of like leading people on and like making them believe that they have a chance, or just even standing people up. Like the amount of people that stand people up, like they'll say, we'll go on a date, let's go to this bar, they never show up, let's go to this movie, they never show up. And that's time and money wasted. And I feel like people just don't value other people's time anymore. Do you know how many times I've heard and even experienced myself being stood up, being led on for months, and when I try to be direct with that person and tell them, hey, are you interested or not? Just let me know directly and bluntly. If you're not, I'm cool. Just let me know, instead of being like, I'm busy, I'm at school, I'm at work, you know, all these thousands excuses for months on end. And then, you know what that person does to me? They block me, because they know that they're the one playing the game. They're confronted with the truth. And now when I've cornered them, so to speak, they just run away and block on to the next sucker whose time they waste and lead on for months on end, right? And so, like, dating apps have taught me that people these days just really suck. And they also really suck at communicating, because it feels like nobody is direct anymore. Nobody is blunt anymore. Nobody is actually saying the truth. Now I feel like everybody speaks with double speak. They say one thing, but they actually mean another. They have motives and agendas and intentions, or they just don't even bother to give you the grace and time of responding back and saying hi back, you know? And I just feel like it would be so much more productive for everybody if they would just be blunt and honest with what they want, and they'd say something nice like, thank you, but I'm not interested. Do you know what I mean? How hard is it to say that? Is that terrifying to say? I don't know, because I've always been the type of person where it's like, if I'm not into somebody, I'll just let them down easy and be honest with them instead of leading them on. And it's cruel, because so many people online have complained about like these scammers and time wasters and people that have led others on, you know, and it's just like, what have we become where we just cannot even make connections anymore when it's easier than ever through an app? Now we need technology to guide us, to tell us what to say, how to take pictures, what to look like. It's truly sad, because this is not only just vanity, but it's also like, in my opinion, why finding somebody to date in this modern era has become so difficult and tragic, honestly. Because, not to sound like an old person, but you know, for example, when our parents were kids growing up, they didn't have the internet, so they had to actually talk to each other and be face to face. And I feel like maybe this is what we need to do. Maybe we need to go back to basics. Maybe we need to go back to bars and clubs and approach a stranger like was done for most of this society and like human timeline. Do you know what I mean? Because we have become so lost with the technology, like we're more stratified than ever. And it's truly something that's unbelievable, because you would think that with it being easier than ever to meet somebody through an app from the comfort of your own bed, that it would actually become better to meet people that are actually in your life for a long time. But instead, it's just become a playground of clownery. So all this to say that if you're one of those people using dating apps and ignoring people or leading them on, or just using them to basically stroke your ego, do yourself and everyone else a favor right now and go ahead and delete those apps. You don't need those apps. What you need is a class on how to become a better person, a class on how to become a more secure person, and a communications class, because this is just cruel, wasting people's time and money like this. Like, I don't know if some people have like a fetish or get off on wasting people's time or money, but it's cruel and, in my opinion, borderline sociopathic, because the lack of empathy that it requires to waste somebody's time and lead them on and make them believe like you actually care about them is just... And to my people out there who have somehow not given up hope on dating apps and still continue to use them to try and find somebody honest, decent, and authentic, I'm with you and you have my support, and I hope you find that person or two soon enough, because I know how difficult it is in the trenches out there trying to basically sort through all the trash and find the diamond in the rough. So may you have all the patience in the world to do that, because I certainly don't. And I just feel for those that are truly trying but are just getting ignored or led on by those that are cruel and love to waste people's time and even money, really. So just know that the modern dating scene sucks, and yes, it does suck in part because of dating apps, but not for the reasons you may think. It sucks because the user base itself sucks, because people themselves these days have lost the art of communicating, and that's something we really need to address before we have AI doing everything for us, which is going to be one of the most dystopian futures we could possibly have in this timeline. Anyways, that's all I had to say for this video. What do you think about this topic? Do you also use dating apps? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I love to hear from you guys. And as always, please share, like, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.